Hello, how are you? It's Friday, the most exciting day of the week for us here at Markets Today. I'm your host, Mbithe Mwema. Always a pleasure and a privilege to be with you. What are you doing? What are your plans for the weekend? Are you thinking about your investments? Are you processing the data and the conversations we've had here? I hope you are. I hope you're listening and I hope you're acting. Today, we have a lot of exciting things lined up for you. First and foremost, I will be taking you through what was happening on the NSE yesterday and what we are seeing today at the end of the trade week. Secondly, I will be answering your questions. Now, remember, it's Ask Mbithe. We have reached out to you. We are here. We want to listen to you. A couple of you have been sending us messages. Remember, our message line is 20146, and we will be answering some of those specific questions later on. We've also had engagements from you on Twitter, on our social media platforms, so I'll be taking some time out to answer that. I encourage you to just take this opportunity, pull out your phone, send us an SMS 20146, or pull out your phone, social media, that's Mbithe Mwema, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, or Metropole TV, same platforms. Tell us, what do you want to know about investments? Do you want us to tell you what you need to focus on next week? Anything. We are here for you because of you. Once I talk about Ask Mbithe, then we have a special surprise for you. We will be doing a company deep dive. We'll be giving you an overview of Scan Group, what's happening there. We've been getting lots of questions. What's happening on Scan Group? It's hit a low of 6.5. It had hit a high of 25. Is there a buy opportunity? So we want to mix the technicals, that's what's been happening on the price, and take a look at the last reported financials just to get an overview of what's happening with this particular company. After that, we get into the crux of the show today. It's Friday, it's an exciting day, it's all about Ask Mbithe. Mr. Sang has come back to the show today. We will be engaging with him one-on-one. Just before I came to the show, he was trying to throw some words, some Sheng words. He was testing me. I failed miserably, but I'm sure I will catch up between now and then. Anyway, it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of excitement. It's a lot of vibe, a lot of excitement happening here on Markets Today. Ask Mbithe, Friday, we tone it down a notch, but we want to talk to you, so engage with us. Let me just dive right in and give you an overview of what's happening on the NSE. Our graphics, our data is presented to us courtesy of Harvest, which is part of the Metropole Group. Certainly, if you have any data needs, that's the kind of partnership that you need to be able to execute on your data needs when it comes to the financial markets. NSE All Share, slight movement there, 141.25 is where it closed at yesterday. NSE 20, also slight movement there. It closed at 1,852 points. Let's move over and see what was driving market performance yesterday. Yesterday, we saw a slowdown in terms of market activity. The turnover was down 73% over the day. Let's take a look at what were the top movers for the day. Safaricom was certainly up there, but it did not trade as much as it traded the day before. 3 million shares, 3.2 million shares are what traded. In the previous day, it traded in the millions. It traded, I think, about 28 million shares. So this explains the drop in terms of turnover yesterday. Key barometer we have been looking at, foreign investors. They remain net buyers on the NSE. We see them trading on Safaricom. We've also seen some trades on KCB and also on East African breweries. Interestingly, we have seen East African breweries go to 173, 174 shillings. It's already actually up 12% from the lows that it hit in August, which was 154. Equity Bank almost touching a 30% high, as well as KCB Group. This is stocks that were trading at the 30 level or sub 30 level halfway through the month of August. Looking at the top movers, Safaricom, 3.2 million shares traded there. It's still at the 30 shilling mark. For this, the last 12 months, the high point that we have seen was 33 shillings in January. 30 shillings still seeing a lot of foreign demand there, but it looks like it could probably continue trading range bound at the 30 shilling mark. This share also came down to as low as 26, again in the month of August. Cooperative Bank, 1.855 million shares traded. It's trading at the 11.9 shilling mark. Kenya Power, second day straight this week that we are seeing a lot of activity. Previous day, also slightly over 1 million shares traded. Today, 1.3 million shares traded. It's trading at about 2 shillings, 2 shillings point. No, actually, it's trading at less than 2 shillings. It's trading at 1 shilling and some cents there. And we're seeing just a bit of build up in terms of activity. So if you're looking for something that could possibly give you a 10% return, then you sort of want to try and see if you can be able to get here. But we're still cautious and trying to see, is this demand sticky demand or is it one-off demand? KCB Group, 1.2 million shares traded. Kenya Re, 1 million shares traded. I think in terms of the penny stocks for Kenya Power and Kenya Re, we've seen a lot of activity this week, and both stocks have been trading over 1 million shares on the day. Kenya Re is at 2.17 shillings per share. So if you're looking for a 10-20% return, it means it just needs to go up to 2.77 shillings per share. That's not too far out of a stretch. We've seen it trade within that level over the last 6 months. So there could be a short-term speculative opportunity for Kenya Re as well as for Kenya Power. The trigger points is you want to see whether the demand is sticky and whether we see another day or so of sustained demand going above 1 million shares worth of the volume traded on these stocks. Let's take a look at what's happening with the top gainers. Okay, so we have our top gainers there. Scan Group, the stock that we are discussing, we've been telling you about it this whole week. It gained 10%, traded at 7.7 shillings per share. I think by the time I was coming to this show, it had also started gaining up again. It was at 8.46 per share. I will articulate the case for this particular stock as we go through the show today. Nation Media, another interesting one, gained almost 10 percentage points to 15.55. Before I came to the show, it was trading at 16.5. There's more demand for this particular stock compared to supply, so we are seeing it tapering up there. These stocks we're seeing, if you're looking for a 10-15% mark, you're coming off a low base, so we expect to see a bit more of continued recovery on this particular name. BK Group, again, almost touching the 10 percentage point mark in terms of the price difference on a day-to-day basis, closed at 16.45. Total Kenya, bad results, but a bit of recovery there on price, up 9 percentage points. And Britam Holdings, actually some persistent recovery during the entire week. It's up 5.68 percentage points to 7.44. I think it had come closer to the 6 shilling mark. It had negative news a week and a half ago when it announced its half-year numbers, but we are seeing a bit of a recovery on this particular stock. Let's see who was on the reverse side of this transactions yesterday, the top losers for the day. Top losers, Samia Africa down 10%, that's 3.6, so it's really the small caps. Unga Group down 9.09%, 30 shillings. Trans-Century also down, Home Africa also down, East African Cables also down. I think that's pretty much what we have in terms of looking at the NSE. Today's activity, we're really seeing a bit more price activity on the smaller cap companies. Scan Group, Kenya Re, Kenya Power. We're also seeing a bit of price correction on the NSE. NSE has been a good mover for the week in terms of price. That's where we are seeing the activity. For the bigger companies, the blue chips, Safaricom, KCB, Equity Bank, and Cooperative Bank, we are seeing more volume going through, not too much on price movement. Now, let's take a look at what you actually asked us over the week. This is on the Ask Mbitha show. I'm actually answering a couple of questions. I'm waiting for our graphics team to put those up. And it's a space where I encourage you, reach out to us. Ask us, what do you want to know when it comes to markets? So I'm waiting for our graphics team to put up the questions that we have. They're up there on Twitter. So we have a question that asks, Mbitha, what are the CMA regulated global FX brokers in Kenya? I hope you were able to watch our show yesterday. In our show yesterday, we had the team lead for Mansa X, the executive director from Standard Investment Bank, Mr. Nahashon Mungai. Nahashon runs a regulated FX broker and as well as an investment manager, and he is regulated by the Capital Markets Authority. The key taker when it comes to regulation is Mr. Mungai told us, please be very careful. If you're going to be engaging in the FX market, ensure that you are engaging with a regulated partner. We have 3 or so names that are known publicly in terms of firms that have gotten the green light from the Capital Markets Authority. First and foremost, we have Mansa X. It trades, it gets funds from the local economy, but gives you a gateway to opportunities in the global space. We have Scope Markets, that's also a forex broker that's regulated by the Capital Markets Authority. We also have EGM, that's also regulated by the Capital Markets Authority. So those are the three that I can think of top of mind. Let's see the next question there. Oh, this is a nice one. You know, it's Friday and we bring it down. We bring it down a notch. Bithe niko na shamba, hawa watu wa Safaricom wanaweza saidia mtu kujua biashara inayofaa kuwekwa. Anaweza kukusaidia. Kama hukuona hii show, tulikuwa tunaongea na watu kutoka Safaricom na wako na product inaitwa DigiFarm. Sasa DigiFarm wanakuja kukusaidia wewe kama mkulima huko mashambani, wanakupatia information, wanakusaidia kupata funding ya kununua inputs ndio uweze kuweka shamba yako. Lakini ile kitu ya maana sana wanafanya kama DigiFarm ni kusema badala ya kupea produce yako kwa broker, wao wenyewe wanakupatia access kwa market. Kwa hivyo unaweza ukauza kwa bei iko juu kidogo kuliko ile umekuwa ukiuza. So certainly mwenye anauliza kama ako na shamba, ndio unaweza kuongea na watu wa Safaricom. Ukitaka pia tunaweza tukakupatia hiyo partnership na tukufanyia hiyo introduction, uongee na wao. Kama ulimisi hiyo show, tunakuencourage, enda kwa our YouTube page, that is Metropole TV. Watch our show. We had hosted Doreen Rege, who is the lead for Women in Technology. She was walking us through the dynamics of DigiFarm. So yes, this can be done. I encourage you to go and also watch the show. And if you're interested, ndio tuko hapa sababu yako. Kwa hivyo kaa ukijua tutakufanyia hii maneno. We'll give you that connection with Safaricom ndio angalau shamba yako iweze kupata mapato. Let's go to the next question. Douglas is asking us, oh, hi, Mbithe, nice show. Thank you very much. You have been running. Just wanted to ask if there's a repeat program in case one misses an episode. There's always a repeat program. First and foremost, on our social media platforms. If you go to our Facebook page, you can be able to see a list of all the shows that we host, and you can be able to watch a rerun of what we were hosting on a live basis. Over and above that, YouTube, that's our main space where we actually put up all these videos from beginning to the end. That's Metropole TV. Go to our YouTube page, kindly subscribe. Let us know what you think about our content. But we have everything there. We have Business AM, we have Markets Today, we have Technology, we have shows that are Eye on the Money, talking about personal finance. We have a weekly recap of what's happening in business. You know that if you're talking about anything to do with business in Kenya, in Africa, in the world, Metropole is your choice station. So go to head over to our Metropole TV page on YouTube, subscribe, and look at all the playlists that are there. You can be able to see anything that you missed out on. I think we have one more question. All right, so that's just a view of the top losers. Okay, fantastic. Looks like those are the questions that we have for today. Again, 20146. That's the number that we want you to write to us. Who are you? Where are you writing to us from? Give us a name. Don't just send us a message. Tell us, hi, this is my name. I'm watching from such and such a place. I'd like to know this and this from you guys. We take a short break. When we come back, I will be articulating the case for WPP Scan Group. Most of you have asked us, what's happening with Scan Group? It hit a low of 6.5. Is there any upside? I think today it's trading at the 8.4, 8.5 shilling mark. I'll be talking about the price performance, talking about the fundamentals, giving you an overview of what Scan Group does and what you need to look out for. After that, we'll take another short break. Then when we come back, we have Mr. Sang with us today. Mr. Sang is always very excited. He's been walking us through his journey of whether should he actually become a farmer or should he start investing in stocks. So it'd be very interesting just to get an update on where he's at and to answer his questions. See you after the break.